Across the vast expanse of America, a silent, relentless enemy has descended. It arrived not with a roar, but with a whisper of wind and the first delicate flakes of snow, slowly but surely transforming familiar landscapes into a frozen, perilous realm. From the bustling cities of the Northeast to the quiet plains of the Midwest, and even touching the usually temperate South, the nation finds itself in the grip of what meteorologists are calling the Great Freeze. Days ago, the warnings began. Forecasts painted a grim picture. A powerful Arctic air mass colliding with Gulf moisture, creating a perfect, devastating synergy for a widespread winter storm. It wasn't just a snowstorm, it was a multifaceted assault of blizzard conditions, crippling ice, and dangerously frigid temperatures. For many, preparation became a race against the clock. Grocery store shelves emptied of bread, milk, and essentials. Hardware stores saw a rush on generators, salt, and shovels. Communities braced, hoping for the best, but quietly fearing the worst. The sense of anticipation was palpable, a quiet before the storm that felt anything but calm. Then it hit. In the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region, snow began to fall with an intensity rarely seen. Feet, not inches, accumulated in a matter of hours. Highways vanished, replaced by drifts towering over vehicles. Roads became impassable, isolating towns and stranding travelers. The beauty of a fresh snowfall quickly gave way to the harsh realities of extreme weather. The joy of a snow day was overshadowed by the daunting task of digging out, the worry of dwindling supplies, and the chilling realization of just how vulnerable we are to the forces of nature. Further south and east, the primary threat wasn't just snow, but a treacherous freezing rain event. An invisible layer of ice coated everything: trees, power lines, roads, and homes. The world transformed into a glistening yet deadly sculpture. As the ice accumulated, the infrastructure groaned under the strain. Trees, heavy with frozen water, snapped and fell, taking down power lines with them. Millions plunged into darkness and cold, their homes suddenly transformed into frigid refuges. The hum of generators became the soundtrack for those lucky enough to have them, while others huddled under blankets, praying for the grid to hold. But perhaps the most insidious threat of this storm wasn't the precipitation, but the punishing cold that followed in its wake. Arctic air, unimpeded by cloud cover, sent temperatures plummeting to historic lows. Wind chill values dropped to life-threatening levels, making mere minutes outdoors a risk of frostbite and hypothermia. For the most vulnerable, the elderly, the homeless, those without adequate heating, the cold became a matter of survival. Emergency shelters opened their doors, straining to accommodate the influx of people seeking warmth and safety. The storm wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a deadly test of resilience. The intricate web of American transportation ground to a near standstill. Airports became ghost towns. Thousands of flights canceled, stranding travelers across the globe. Major highways, vital arteries of commerce and travel, were shut down, either by whiteout conditions, icy surfaces, or multi-vehicle pileups. Supply chains fractured. Deliveries of essential goods, from food to medicine, were delayed or halted entirely. The storm exposed the fragility of our interconnected systems, reminding us how quickly modern life can be disrupted when nature flexes its might. Yet, in the face of such widespread adversity, stories of courage and community began to emerge. First responders, often working around the clock in harrowing conditions, pulled stranded motorists from snowdrifts and rescued those trapped in their homes. Utility workers, defying the ice and cold, climbed poles and repaired lines, driven by the knowledge that warmth depended on their efforts. Volunteers at shelters provided food, blankets, and comfort. Neighbors, often strangers before the storm, checked on each other, shared resources, and helped clear driveways. In the deepest cold and darkest nights, the warmth of human connection shone brightest. As the storm eventually began to loosen its grip, the full extent of its economic toll became clearer. Billions of dollars in damages to infrastructure, lost business revenue, and agricultural losses mounted. The cost of recovery would be immense and long-lasting. For homeowners, fallen trees, burst pipes, and ice damage presented a daunting challenge. The process of filing insurance claims, finding contractors, and rebuilding would be a long and arduous journey for countless families. While a single storm cannot be attributed solely to climate change, extreme weather events like the Great Freeze are becoming increasingly common and intense. Scientists continue to study how a warming Arctic might influence colder, more frequent incursions of polar air into lower latitudes. The question arises, are these once-in-a-generation storms becoming the new normal? The storm serves as a stark reminder of our planet's powerful, evolving climate, prompting critical questions about resilience, infrastructure, and future preparedness. As the days grow longer and the sun gains strength, the Great Freeze will eventually recede, leaving behind a landscape scarred but not broken. The process of recovery will be gradual, but the spirit of resilience that defined the storm's peak will undoubtedly fuel the rebuild. Communities will assess, adapt, and reinforce. Emergency services will review their responses, and individuals will reflect on the lessons learned from being pushed to the brink by the elements. The Great Freeze tested the resolve of a nation, exposing vulnerabilities but also highlighting the enduring strength of the American spirit. It was a powerful reminder of nature's raw power, but also of humanity's capacity for courage, compassion, and collective resilience. As the ice melts and the snow recedes, the memory of this storm will serve not just as a tale of hardship, but as a testament to the unwavering spirit of communities united against the cold. As the snow settles, a deeper mystery emerges. This wasn't just a collision of air masses, it was a phenomenon scientists are still racing to decode. In early 2026, the traditional predictability of El Niño was replaced by a rogue Arctic oscillation. For weeks, the atmosphere behaved with an erratic rhythm that bypassed our most advanced AI models. Why did the cold stagnate over the deep south for so long? Some experts point to a distorted jet stream, a ribbon of air so weakened by Arctic warming that it now wobbles like a dying top, trapping entire regions in a frozen loop. But the secrets of the storm aren't just scientific, they are digital. As the grid flickered, a secondary silent threat loomed. Infrastructure experts have noted that during these great freezes, our national security is at its most vulnerable. With emergency services stretched thin, the storm acted as a force multiplier for potential cyber-physical threats. When the power goes out, the digital heart of America, our data centers and communication hubs, faces a stress test that could have ripple effects for years. The long-term effect on America is a fundamental shift in our national DNA. We are moving from an era of convenience to an era of adaptation. This storm has exposed that our 50-year-old power grid is a relic of a climate that no longer exists. The economic toll isn't just in the billions of dollars of damage, it's in the permanent migration of people, the rising uninsurability of homes in storm-prone zones, and a forced evolution of how we build our cities. America is waking up to a chilling reality. The storm of the century is now a recurring guest. The secret it leaves behind in the melting ice is a question. Are we merely surviving these events, or are we witnessing the permanent rewriting of the American landscape?